What an absolutely incredible year it's been for video game releases. And we're not done yet. As we wind things down in 2023, the industry has one last gasp left before we turn the page to 2024. And that's where Dossier comes in. We sift through all the games to deliver the ones you should be paying attention to. And we give each game 2 hype ratings based on our editorial judgment and the on-site traffic of our users at Sifted.net. Let's get going. The excellent Dark Knight games from the last decade may be old bat to PlayStation or Xbox fans, but they're just now being released on Switch. The Batman Arkham trilogy includes Batman Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight in one package for 60 Batarangs. The price is definitely a bit steep, but these games have held up remarkably well thanks to great writing and a deep combat system. Save Gotham from a murderer's row of villains, wow, you're on the go. Everyone knows Dragon Quest, but not many remember Dragon Quest Monsters. It's understandable since the last game released in the US over a decade ago. Square Enix's spin-off turn-based RPG franchise has a Pokemon bent, where you race critters and send them into battle. The new one, The Dark Prince, is a Switch exclusive, and features the cursed Demon Prince Pizarro, who is incapable of harming monsters, so he fights alongside them instead. And a cool new twist for the franchise, as the seasons change, so does the landscape and the bestiary. Do you like the concepts behind Animal Crossing, but not its strange characters and setting? Disney Dreamlight Valley is here to copy all its ideas and then splash them with Disney juice. This hybrid of life simulation and adventure game features all the company's biggest stars with a dash of Pixar. It's your task to restore Dreamlight Valley to its former splendor after a tragic event called The Forgetting. If you're a Disney fan, the potent mix of concept, execution, and fandom are almost irresistible. We just recently received the first 3D Sonic game in years with the open world Sonic Frontiers. Not wanting another prolonged layoff, Sega has signed a deal with Apple to bring the Blue Varmints' next 3D outing to its platforms. That's right, Sonic Dream Team is exclusive to iPhones and Mac. The crew's all here, with 6 playable characters that each have their own abilities, and they'll need them to navigate Eggman's dangerous and mysterious world of dreams as they try to secure a powerful artifact. You'll have to subscribe to Apple Arcade for your next dose of blast processing. Accessibility is one of the biggest and most endearing thrusts of the modern video game industry. As contrast to the get good Dark Souls crowd, most players just want everyone to be able to experience and enjoy the greatest entertainment medium in the world. Enter the PlayStation Access Controller. This awesome doohickey was created by disabled people for disabled people, and its versatility in being able to adapt to a number of limitations is what really sets it apart. It's modular and customizable, which makes all the difference. If you know someone in your life who could use this controller, it might be the greatest gift you ever give them. It currently only works for PlayStation 5. We don't recommend a ton of VR games in Dossier, but when the sequel to that medium's biggest first-person shooter is released, we're gonna give it some time in the show. First, we should mention that zombie shooter Arizona Sunshine 2 is gratuitous and gross. It fell out of the ESRB tree and hit every branch on the way down. But it also understands what makes VR games shine with limited movement so that players don't feel like zombies after playing. Despite its indulgences, it does play realistically, making every bullet count. And this sequel tacks on some melee mechanics. There's a reason the first game is an absolute smash hit. Far Cry 6 was set in Cuba and is generally considered a commercial failure. Even Breaking Bad villain Gus Fring couldn't save it. But maybe the Blue Na'vi of the Avatar franchise can. Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora is the latest output of Ubisoft's Go Anywhere, Do Anything design template. You play as a young Na'vi raised by humans who must assimilate back into the culture after 15 years under the indoctrinating heel of the RDA. It's not easy, but you have your trusty bow and Ikron to tame its open world teeming with bizarre wildlife, reconnect with your lost heritage, and hope the Far Cry franchise does the same. Including the day before in this rundown is sure to ruffle a few feathers. It's a notorious game that has been mired in controversy ever since it was announced. Because gameplay footage was hard to come by, many suspected this open-world MMO zombie survival shooter was fake. But they were wrong, and the game is almost here after a couple delays that fed into the hysteria. Post-pandemic America is overrun by shambling, flesh-eating abominations. It's up to you and some friends to survive and thrive in its cutthroat world. PS5 and Xbox Series versions are coming later. The original Granblue Fantasy Versus was a surprise hit. Based on a garbage mobile gacha game, the only clue that it might be something special was its developer, Arc System Works. This Japanese studio is known for crafting addicting 2D fighting systems with gorgeous art, and that's exactly what you get with Granblue Fantasy Versus Rising. Its fighting system is rather simple, and that's why it resonates, but new dash attacks and triple attack auto combos add some new layers. Toss in tons of new fighters, rollback netcode, and crossplay, and you have the recipe for fighting game longevity. Like VR games, we don't dabble in DLC much with Dossier, but over 30 million of you have already bought Pokémon Scarlet and Violet, and we're guessing you'd like to know that a huge chunk of DLC is on the way. Part 2 of the Hidden Treasure of Area Zero DLC saga is titled Indigo Disc. It has you traveling to Blueberry Academy for a stint as an exchange student. Best of all, you'll gain access to new Pokémon and people as you leave the Paldea region for new frontiers. If you want to play, you'll have to plunk down $35, but that will also net you the first story DLC from September. Thanks for checking out our recommendations for December, and thank you for all the Sifted content you've watched this year, or any other form of support you've shown us. If you like what we're doing, head to patreon.com/sifted and give us a pledge if you can. Or use the QR code on the screen to give us a one-time donation in any amount. We'll be forever grateful, and we'll be back in 2024. So have yourself an amazing holiday season full of great family, friends, and of course, video games.